Are you listening? Damn.
Welcome to another edition of the AFC North Talk presented by True Classic. True Classic, upgrade your shirt game with True Classic. Shout out to everybody that was joining us yesterday on the Patreon show. It was a very fun show. And today we're hoping it's not only a fun show, but it's civil. As you see, we have here, we have a holdout.
Yeah, they're always civil. What do you mean? They're always civil. I don't know what you're talking about.
That's the least civil person on this entire podcast.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Shout out to Tony. Tony's birthday was on Sunday, he said the other day. So shout out to
Wait,
Tony.
no. Hold on. Shout out to you, Sonny, because your birthday was yesterday. So happy birthday to Sonny. Let's get some happy birthdays.
Hold on. Time out. Is this the correct order?
Oh,
Point flip, y'all. There we go.
My bad. That was my bad. Maybe I'm trying to, putting it out there. Right?
Yeah, that's right.
Anyway, Raven Run, shout out to you. Thank you for the donation. Only way Ravens win is effective pass rush. Get the ball first, run the clock, control the clock, or run the ball, or run the rock. That's what he meant. Control the clock. If Bengals get ahead, I can't trust Hundley or Tony's favorite acronym, AB.
I like that we're doing AB
for everybody. Yeah.
I know we can't be putting AB out there when Andrew Berry is already in the division, y'all.
Yeah, that's right. He's the true AB in the division.
I mean, when have we really talked about the other one for a while?
Well, I suppose you could. There is like a statute of limitations. I suppose we're going to have to eventually retire AB.
It's been retired. He's retired.
Yeah.
He is retired.
Well, I mean, I don't know that he's officially retired.
Well, he does nothing on this. He does nothing that warrants us talking about him on this show.
True. Well, he does a lot. Just
nothing that we're going to cover. You know what I mean?
Is Odell trending in that direction after what happened in the plane thing?
Look, I didn't watch the plane.
I don't
video.
understand why people can't just see Odell do something weird and be like, okay, that's weird, and just move on with it. Why is it? He's not even on a team, dog. Like, just like, oh, Odell's kind of a douche. Okay, and then move on from it. That's just kind of
was the video weird? Did he do anything like out of the norm?
The video was like, I guess he didn't want to take off his seatbelt for whatever reason. I don't know the whole situation, but I saw.
Okay. Yeah, so I saw the video yesterday actually, and what happened was he apparently went to the plane and he passed out, and he had no seatbelt. So the lady, I think it was a lady, tried to put the seatbelt. I forgot the person that works in the airplane. I forgot the name. How do you call
Stewardess?
Stewardess, yes. She tried to put a seatbelt, and when she took, I guess, the blanket out, he was in his boxers, and she said, "Whoa, I'm not gonna touch it."
Whoa, that is
right. And then they tried to wake him up, but he's passed out. So they essentially said, like, we're not comfortable with him flying because he was kind of out of it. And then he said, so they brought like a manager.
Wait, so did he have a cover or there's no cover?
No. He had it looks like he had a blanket because the story was.
I was gonna say this is wild.
I guess he had pants, but they were all the way to his ankle. That's my assumption. Anyway, they called the manager. Manager comes in. The flight is there, and the manager said and then they call the police, right? And then the manager says that he doesn't want to leave, and then the police said, "Well, if he doesn't want to leave, we have to essentially evacuate everybody at the airplane, and then."
This is the worst part for me. This is like old man Tony is like, this is where I'm like, no, this is where it gets screwy. Because he makes everybody else get off the plane.
Yeah, so they tell this to Odell, and Odell says, like, no, I'm not leaving. So they had to get everybody out of the plane. And then Odell's like, oh, he has some words with this older gentleman, right? Like the old guy was mad that he's leaving because Odell doesn't want to leave. Weird. And then he starts like saying stuff to the old man. And then after that, Odell's there vibing with the police officer, like chilling, and said, like, I just don't want to see that guy with the older guy. I don't want to see it
Man
because
needs
this is about pride, you know. And eventually he leaves,
What?
and then the flight
The
gets delayed by
man
2.5
needs
hours.
help.
Yeah.
That is
Yeah,
that
not
is
good.
a clear sign that he
Yeah.
has some sort of problem that is impairing his judgment.
Well, he was clearly. I mean, I think he was clearly intoxicated. I mean, he had. So
if
Yeah,
you
he
are
had
that
clearly just come
intoxicated
from
in
the
an
club.
airplane,
Yeah, he was
Oh,
intoxicated.
okay. So he was
have
coming
a
from a club.
From a
and
club right to
going-
the plane.
yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. So I would say he's not of sound mind in that moment.
Oh yeah. He's
But
How
still,
did
anyone
he
who's
make
dealt
it
with flight
through-
delays. I mean,
Well,
you know,
I mean, like, how you make it through TSA? Like,
wow.
How did he make
did
it
he
to
get through
Did he
customs
take?
and then get buck wild? Because, like, you know, there's a
How did
problem
his
in
pants
there.
get off, bro? How did his pants get off? There's
That
no way
I
he
don't
went through
know.
TSA.
Well, some
like
people
that.
like to take their shoes off on planes.
I
Those
mean,
people
he was in first class, right? It might have
Yeah.
been one of them lay flats. He got
True.
comfortable in it.
Sure.
I don't know what it's like to live that life. I've
Yeah.
never not flown coach, dog. So I barely ever not fly Spirit. So
Yeah, it never flew
those
out.
are situations in which I would feel comfortable laying down, let alone getting naked. But let's just
To be
let's
fair,
just-
my assumption is Ace maybe he had baggy pants, right? And then he's just walking the pants.
Nah, he took them off, but he was probably going to sleep or something. I don't know.
Yeah, he went to
No,
sleep.
The
yeah.
man has a problem. Like, I feel like we are starting to understand that he might have some issues.
Yeah, he might have some. Anyway, next super chat here from Diddy says Derek Carr will be Ravens
Did you see the
quarterback
one report
next year.
that said it's down to Derek Carr and Baker Mayfield?
The Ravens?
Yikes.
Ooh, Ray fans, you would not be surprised if you actually listened to me, man. Like honestly, you wouldn't be surprised if you listened to me or Ace. But Ace, what did they tell us when we tried to tell them? What did they tell him?
They were in denial, bro.
Oh
they said
yeah,
they
you
weren't
get
gonna
super
get
chats
here.
about us being haters, right? Being
Who's the
mad.
hater now? Who's the hater now? I see
You know what I
Ravens
mean?
fans burning Lamar
Burning
Jackson
jerseys.
jerseys.
Burning jerseys.
Who's
Burning
burning jerseys?
jerseys.
Really? They were burning
Yeah,
jerseys?
Yeah,
there
burning
was
jerseys.
jersey
Yes.
already.
Damn.
Mad at him. That's crazy. That's crazy. That is insane. All I'm saying was, I told you, Ace, wasn't I saying that this could be an ugly situation in March of last? It's almost been a full calendar year where I was ringing the alarm bells like, hey, a deal's not done yet? Really? We not going to have a deal done? And look, at times, Sonny was like, nah, it's not a big deal. And Tony was even like, hey, I think Q's making a bit big of a deal out of this. But I knew what was true, which was, nah, this is exactly what it looked like, which is what it is right now. So, Raven fans, I don't know why you think I hate you. I don't know why you think I come up with these things just to make you mad. I came up with this, I just saw what was obvious right there. Now, did I have a reason to see it because I want that man out the division after the Pookie Scoot? Yes, absolutely. But that didn't impair my judgment in this moment when I looked at it and told you this is unlike anything any other team has done before with a franchise level quarterback on a rookie deal since they instituted the rookie pay scale. This is like nothing else before. Oh, Quincy, they're just doing it the Raven way. You wouldn't understand. Your team sucks, as if the Browns being a garbage organization has anything to do with what your team is doing right now.
It has a lot to do with it because that contract set up the market.
Then stop talking about how bad of a contract it was for the Browns, because if it gets rid of Lamar Jackson, worth every goddamn penny. I don't care. I don't care.
That.
All right. So one, put some respect on the name. You know what I mean? Shout out Jamie Haslam for dropping the bag, because now it might not be Lamar Jackson. So next time Tony tries to throw that contract in my face, okay, he can't be happy if Lamar Jackson ain't in his division no more then. Okay, you know what I mean? So yeah, 4D chess, Jimmy Haslam, the greatest owner in the North. Put some respect on his name.
Okay, well, we've gone a bit far in a couple places. Also, we just got an insane.
Hey, look. Joe Burrow on the clock now too.
Oh, we good over here.
No,
we're
we
not
good.
making the
Wait,
mistake.
okay, hold on.
No,
Let's back up for a second.
We're not making the
Obviously-
mistake of not
Hold on,
making
let's
an
Kenny
extension
Pickett
early.
next too. Yeah,
let's
yeah,
reel
yeah.
this
Okay.
in. Well,
Wait until all the quarterbacks in this division get re-signed, and then next thing you know,
My
Deshaun
God.
Watson has the smallest cap number out of all of them. You know what I mean? Wait till that
Oh, it's
Kenny
gonna be a
Pickett
great
$60
3
million
years of that.
cap hit, baby. I cannot wait. Let's go. Let's go.
What was that super chat we had? The guy wrote in at the end of last week's show. He said, what did he say? 3 big time throws, 9 turnover worthy plays. Forget who that guy was. He's a smart guy. He wrote it.
Yeah, sounds like a $60 million quarterback. Better lock it up. But pay Kenny Pickett $60 million. Let's go. 200. What's gonna be by the time he's a rookie? $300 million guarantee. Let's go. Pay Kenny Pickett now.
Well, unfortunately, we don't have to pay Kenny Pickett for like 3 or 4 more years. So we're fine.
We'll
now
see
let's back up for 1 second, because obviously we're talking about this Lamar thing because Lamar's not playing this week. Right now, Lamar is not playing, didn't practice all week, and felt like I thought this was kind of strange. And this is where I want to get you guys to take on this. What do we make of the idea that Lamar Jackson himself is the one who releases the statement going through his diagnosis, why he's not playing, what happened here, why he wasn't able to play, when you still to this day, when Harbaugh was asked about it, Harbaugh said, I didn't even, he did the whole like Tomlin, I don't even know what social media is. That was basically his response, right?
Yeah, well, that was clearly a message that had gotten vetted through the team's doctor.
Was it? No. See, that's
it got vetted through a doctor. Like, that wasn't Lamar Jackson like tweeting that. That was the language was of which I have never seen him use on that app.
A PR guy definitely did.
It was somebody, in somebody's camp put that out.
Yeah.
So and then that's another thing I would point to is like, why wouldn't you protect him if you plan on keeping him, right? Being like, hey, he can't play. That's what you would do. If somebody can't play, you say they can't play. I understand you want to play like the 4D chess game. Oh, we might start him. But when you're doing damage to the reputation of what's supposed to be your franchise quarterback by doing that, then it no longer justifies whatever on-field benefit that you think you're going to get by playing these little goofy games when everybody knows you're not playing Lamar Jackson because he ain't practicing a month.
That's par for the course. They didn't give him the extension, which fed into the narrative that he wasn't worth the money.
They created their own problem. Like, this is a problem of their own making here. Like, the optics of it, whether they were aware of it or not, where they literally paid every player that was a part of that core before Lamar, even the one that they traded for in the middle of this season.
Roquan.
That was, like I said, the optics for that are terrible. Whether that has anything to do with this contract or not, we don't get to find out what actually has to do with it. What we know is what we see, and what we see is everybody else has gotten paid other than Lamar. What we see is, hey, we will spend a 2nd round pick on a linebacker. We won't trade a 3rd or a 4th round pick to get a wide receiver to help you out. You know what I mean? Like, this is what it's been for the Ravens. This is why the optics look so bad, and it's why it's so easy to turn around and be like, hey, Lamar really shouldn't want to play there anymore, even though Baltimore's a really good team. Like, that's what Baltimore has walked themselves into. This was something that was mishandled, I think, from the once Josh Allen got that deal and they just kind of let it walk after that, that's when it started ticking on like, okay, how long are you going to let this last before it became a disaster? And it became a disaster the second Deshaun Watson got that contract. And then once that happened, ain't no going back. Like, ain't no going back. Ain't no going back. All offers are now void, and now you're in a sticky situation. And you know what? You did this to yourselves, because the other quarterback that's elite in that draft, they don't have that problem right now, Buffalo.
And not only did they extend Roquan, they made him the highest paid off-ball linebacker.
That's crazy.
I mean,
after Kenny Pickett chopped him up, though.
In a deal where he was negotiating with them. So the whole Raven excuse that we heard for the whole summer, oh, Lamar doesn't have an agent, he has to negotiate with them. Roquan did the same thing. They just don't want to pay Lamar. It's obvious that they don't want to pay Lamar. And it's obvious that this is headed towards a divorce. The signs were there. It just doesn't make sense.
This is where I'm going to push back. I do have a pushback to this narrative. The reports were, it's not that they don't want to pay him. Apparently, there was a deal on the table that Lamar was going to make either 50 or 49.9 average salary per year. What they don't want is the fully guaranteed. So there's just 2 different arguments, right? And I think...
Well, you can make the argument, though, that if you don't want to give him the guarantee, you don't want to pay him. Because, Yeah,
Not
you're willing to
true,
give him
you.
50. You're willing to give him the cap hit, but then you're willing to also want to get out of it, right? Like
But
that's you don't want to commit to him. Is basically what they're
Is
saying.
it really 50 million? It depends on how much is guaranteed. That doesn't mean that it's 50 million every year. If only a
Well,
little
the
bit of it is
average
guaranteed.
salary. No. So okay, the average
He's saying
salary
like the average salary and the
is
cap
50.
hit, that's
And
50
then
million, but it's
and
not
then
guaranteed.
I think they were
Right.
trying to push it to a 6-year contract. You know how Perry Mahomes is 10. They're trying to make Lamar's a 6. This I'm trying to remember because this was in the offseason. 6-year contract and like 4.5 of this years guarantee, right? Like if you add the guarantees, like Roquan Smith right now, if you add his guarantees, it's basically a 3-year guarantee money, right? Out of the 5. Well,
Yeah.
Lamar, if you
60%
added his
guarantee.
guarantee based on a 50 mil per year, it was like a 4.5 years guarantee. And he doesn't want that, right? And I respect that. This is not me. I'm not trying to bash Lamar. I respect that he wants fully guaranteed. I also understand from the Ravens side point. Like I'm here trying to figure out who has the right. I think both are on the right. The other day I did a little rant about this, right? And my whole point was, if there's a team out there that's willing to give Lamar, I don't know, let's say he's looking for 6-year, 300 million fully guaranteed, right? Let's say that that's what he's looking, or maybe it's 5-250, which that's what I thought he was looking for in the offseason. If there's somebody out there, then I think he's gone this year. Be a trade. The question for the Ravens is:
what is the trade rules with him now? Because he's not.
Well, you franchise him, and he's still.
You can trade with somebody on the
Yeah.
franchise tag. I thought you couldn't.
But
Right
what he
after a
can
while, right
do
up until that
is he
deadline.
can refuse to sign. He doesn't have to sign a franchise tag. There's this
True.
whole narrative that's like, oh, he can just sign. He doesn't have to sign it. He can use
doesn't.
that as a way to force his
So
way
how
out
would
of
a
there.
sign and trade work like that? Would he have to sign with the Ravens and then get traded?
Yeah.
All part of that. Now, how
Yeah,
would that
it's a
work
sign
with
and
dead
trade.
cap hits?
There's no
No.
dead cap because he signs the franchise tag with the Ravens for no guaranteed. Gets traded, and then the new team signs him to the new contract.
Yeah,
Okay,
and then
so
the
you can
franchise
just
tag
move on.
disappears. Yeah, and there's
Yeah.
the franchise tag. Now, I don't think he holds out. There's 40. I think the franchise tag they're talking about it being 43, 44, something. I don't think he says, okay, I'm gonna step back for a year, not play, leave 43, 44 mil.
No, go full
there.
Le'Veon Bell with it.
Yeah, I don't think he does. And no, I saw a couple people on Twitter like, oh, he's gonna hold in, and basically stick it to the Ravens. I think that will hurt him as well, right? Not making that money. I think, and I said this to Tony the other day. Not like I had the biggest faith in Eric DeCosta, right? Like I say, when my Ravens here, y'all always put Eric DeCosta in this pedestal. I think he's a good GM, not a great GM. If he's smart, whenever the Ravens get eliminated, right? Could be this Sunday. I'm hoping not. Could be the following week. Whenever it happens, right?
Damn, y'all not gonna win the Super Bowl. What do y'all don't get eliminated?
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say,
Where's the
Come on,
optimism,
man.
Sonny?
Come on, man.
Q. Even if it is after the Super Bowl, all I was gonna say is they won.
What if Tyler Huntley wins the Super Bowl? What do you do with Lamar at that point?
Well, listen. That's what I was gonna. They won after whenever it happens, Super Bowl, whenever it happens. You sit down with Lamar and say, "This is where this is." Let's say the Ravens are in this, and Lamar's like, "Nah, I want that," and they're that far apart. They need to just day one say, "Okay, we're gonna put you in the trading market and see what team is willing to offer us fair market on compensation." Similar to what happened with Deshaun Watson, right? They said, these are the 4 teams, Watson, that they're willing to offer us what we want. Now, I'll let you negotiate with them. The what?
It's basically free agency with like an
That's-
insane comp. Like that's basically what Watson
is a
was
third
was
option.
free agency with like an insane comp, like where instead of getting like a comp where it's like a 3rd round, but like now you can get like 3 first-round picks because
That's crazy because I could have swore somebody around the same time last year talked about trading Lamar for a king's ransom and keeping Tyler Huntley. Who was that guy? It seems like it's the Ravens fans saying it now. Oh, okay. Oh, I'm not sure who that guy was.
The reason why I said you do that in day one is if there's a couple of scenarios. Lamar goes out there and he sees, oh, the Raven, nobody's willing to give me a fully guarantee. You know what? The Ravens offer seems either good, great, whatever. I can go back to the Ravens. Second option, no, the Ravens offer is crap. These 2 teams or whatever, they're willing to give me all this other money. Let me go with them, right? but you do that early enough in the season because then opens the question. I know somebody put Derek Carr, or if the picks are high, then you go into fully scouting this quarterback class, right? So you have to know early. What you cannot do is in May, wait up to May, still negotiating, blah blah, back and forth. And in May, it's like, you know what, we are in an impasse. Either play in the franchise, or I'm gonna trade you now. But you lost all this other portion that you could have done a bunch of stuff, right?
Well, there's a third option. I mean, you guys are painting like the two cleanest options here, right? Which is one, they eventually work out a deal, right? Lamar wants his guaranteed, and like they go, the Ravens balk, right, and say, okay, we should have done this a year ago, but we'll do it now. And I suppose that's an option. I think we all could agree that's not likely, but it's possible. Second option, like Sonny's talking about, you get traded at some point. I think that's an option as well. But there is a third option, right? Now I've talked about this. Look, it gets real ugly when you get to the franchise tag. I know a little bit about this because Le'Veon Bell went through this for 2 years in a row.
It's never happened with a quarterback who's won the MVP.
Right.
That's
right.
It. Well,
so you could,
territory though, right?
Yeah, you could play a game of chicken with Lamar, right? Because remember, you can franchise tag a guy twice. So remember, Lamar Jackson's like, oh, I'll sit out. Like we're going to go through this thing of, I'll be free of this in a year. No, he won't. He could potentially be a Baltimore Raven for 2 more seasons. And if the Ravens really wanted to, like the Steelers did, they could basically play a game of chicken with Lamar and say, we are not offering you fully guaranteed. This is our best offer. You want to take that? That's cool. Otherwise, we're franchise tagging. If you want to sit out a year, that's fine. Because guess what? You have to sit out 2 before you're actually free of this. I mean, it can get really, really ugly like it did with the Steelers.
That because it's like the only thing that really accomplishes is technically keeping Lamar Jackson a Raven. But does it actually make them any better? Because that when the Ravens stick. Yeah, well, here's the thing though. When the Steelers started doing that stuff with Le'Veon Bell, that's when that whole thing started to fall apart with the whole triple
B. They did it to him twice. He played the first year. Then he didn't play under the second year. He finally sat out.
Yeah, so I'm saying once you have to play these games with like members of your core, you know what I mean? Like it's the Mike Tomlin. We want volunteers, not hostages, right?
Yeah, right.
That's not where you want to be at. And it's like, you can technically keep Lamar Jackson in Baltimore for 2 more years. That is absolutely true. You have the contractual right to do it. Would it actually be better for the Ravens, right? Like at this point, you're at the point of, hey, either he wants to come back on what we want to give him and we can fix this and move on from it, or he doesn't. He wants to get something and he can get something from somewhere else. And then you just get the draft picks and rebuild from there and hope you hit on a quarterback or something like that sooner. But like holding him hostage, you're just going to get more years like this where it's like, hey, you might make the playoffs.
Look, the hostage thing does it it's the pressure of like the deadline that brings the two sides together, right? It was like in a case like this where one side, like both sides are holding out, right? You need some sort of like thing that's going to happen where if we don't get it done by this point, like we're like, so if you're the Ravens, I mean, you could legitimately play a game of chicken right up until the franchise deadline and see if Lamar balks and do that for a year and then do this all for another year, right? Maybe Lamar does balk at the last second and takes the deal because he doesn't want to have to sit out on the franchise tag for a year, and you get him to sign a non-fully guaranteed contract.
I don't think he balks though. I think the only way that I see balk from Lamar is letting him explore other options and see what is out there.
If he goes out there, I think the best option for the Ravens, if you want to like keep him at this point, is he has to go out there and find out that he's not going to get that deal. Right. Like that has to be what happens. Right.
Yeah.
And then you can renegotiate with them. And then it's not going to be like, oh, well, you guys are just trying to slight me or whatever. It's like, okay, whatever. The market's not there for it. Let's renegotiate and get another deal here.
But I would say this, Quincy. Isn't he going to feel some animosity towards the Ravens because they didn't give him a deal? They didn't give him a deal.
He's going to feel some type of way.
He's going to feel some type of way. He's going to get offered less than, which is why he shouldn't have played in the first place.
He's going to feel some type of way about it.
I've seen players get jaded and take lesser deals elsewhere just because they're so jaded by the actual team because of what has happened to their value. Like TJ Houshmandzadeh did the same thing. We offered TJ Houshmandzadeh whatever more than he took in Baltimore, but he was so pissed at the Bengals, he was willing to take the lesser of the deal because he just was so pissed with the
but TJ, that was second contract. Like Lamar, this is his first big
contract. It was Seattle. Excuse me, Seattle. This was when he left for Seattle. He took less money with Seattle than what the Bengals offered him. And I've seen that happen a number of times. When you piss off players and you mess up the relationship, they're not going to say, oh, yeah, I'm coming back now because I'm pissed at you. That's not what
Especially if you
happens.
start playing franchise tag games with them. Like
Yeah,
that's
no,
where
I
it's gonna
agree
be
that.
like, that's where it's like, if you franchise tag them, like you might keep them for 2 years, but that's it, right?
Yeah.
Like there
Oh,
is
no, there's
there is
definitely
there is no fight. You basically
No,
are like,
I
hey,
agree.
because that's
Look.
what the Steelers, they were like, hey, Le'Veon's only gonna be good for 2 more years anyway, so let's just franchise tag him and just play this out.
I
instead of giving him,
think
like,
the
a
whole
6-year deal.
Lamar thing, but to go into everybody's point, I think Lamar thing should be solved. Whatever happens, either trade him, keep him. Around April, we should know what's happening with Lamar.
You don't
right?
want to do this in August again, Sonny?
No, you can't. But second, to some of these points is, I don't think he will feel animosity, because this is where, and look, I'm good with him not having an agent, right? But here is where an agent will not talk to other teams on the DL and say, like, hey, Lamar, I think the Ravens are cheating you from X amount of money. I think we can get them up to here, right? But the fully guaranteed might not happen. Kyler Murray, not that Kyler Murray is in the same level as Lamar, but he's a young quarterback, up and coming quarterback, right? He couldn't get the fully guaranteed. Russell Wilson, an established quarterback, although we know what happened, but this is this year, couldn't get the fully guaranteed quarterback, both after Deshaun Watson. I have questions. I think somebody will, right? It only takes one team to say, yes, I'm willing to. And right now, for example,
somebody's going to do it. Some desperate franchise is going to do it.
Think of the Jets right now. The Jets right now are a team that is like, Jets fans are like, yes, bring Lamar here, because they think that they're a quarterback away. I'm not saying that they are not. I'm just saying that's one. Detroit could be another one, right? Detroit almost made the playoff with Jared Goff. So they might be like, oh, maybe we get Lamar. And
Jared
they
Goff's
have
the best quarterback in the league. I don't know if you saw the chart I put up last.
Someone's going to do it. Just like with the Bengals, how we wouldn't give Jesse Bates that top 5 safety money. Somebody this offseason is going to do it. They're going to be like, yeah, we'll give you that. No problem.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting, definitely. For me, we said if he goes, I would love to keep him.
Hey, look, just imagine how good that Ravens defense going to be with 3 extra first-round picks.
Okay, one thing we're not talking about yet, because we brought this up at the beginning of the show, right? I mean, how much of this – I mean, I think we all agree Lamar's gone, but, I mean, how much of this injury thing is a contract thing versus – because to me, it feels – the more that's being said now, it does feel like this is – if there's any part of this that's contract-related, it's a very small portion. Like
this is – I thought he was injured. Like, this is the MCL sprain is not like a joke. You know what I mean? Like PCL. And then, like, what he said is it's verging on a grade 3, and that's a tear. A grade 3 is a tear. So he basically almost tore his MCL. And, like, I went through that injury in the spring. My knee's still not stable. Like, it takes a real long time to get back from that, be able to play, be on a brace, be confident with it. Like, that he's actually injured. My whole thing with this was like, now what, right? Because the whole bet with this season, right, from Raven fans before the year was this whole idea that Lamar is going to earn his contract by playing through it and then getting a Super Bowl, similar to what Joe Flacco did. That talking point was out there. Well, now he's hurt. Now Lamar can't really do that. Now what? Do you pay him? Because, like, it's not like he had the greatest year of his career either. What do you do now? Now what? This is why I did not think that this was a great situation for either of them to be in. The optimal situation would have been to sign him when the similar time to when Josh Allen got signed. Now you're in this weird spot where, like, are you going to give him his money? I mean, like, both sides have arguments to give and not to give this money up, which means that you're going to probably be in a stalemate.
I think what makes this contract related is I think he's more willing to take the risk on playing on that knee or rehabbing to get back faster if he has those guarantees or whatever it is in place. Like T.O. playing on a broken leg, like, I feel like if he had a contract in place, he'd take that risk. No contract, I'm not going out there with a messed up knee, especially if he's ex-teammates with RG3, who I'm sure was one of the people, I think, before the season that said he shouldn't play. So there's no way for him to come out of this situation clean. And, like, if he were to play, he's just taking a risk for his complete future, which that's where I think the contract of it kind of plays in. Like, he's waiting for that next big contract. So you don't want to take a risk where you could potentially damage that going forward.
And, like, the thing too here is, like, winning can solve a lot of the problems that they have with the contract. Like, a lot of the animosity, oh, you didn't want to give me money. if they had a great run here at the end of the season, got to like an AFC championship, came this close to getting to the Super Bowl, or even got to the Super Bowl, all of a sudden it's going to be a lot easier to negotiate their contract and avoid the franchise tag if they wanted to. But now you're in a spot to where, hey, it's on the table. It's already there. What happened. You're probably going to be bouncing the first round. If not, it's going to be about Tyler Huntley, and that's going to even add more. That's honestly going to make it worse for that situation. So now, like I don't want to say the vibes, but like in general, like the vibes are effed. Like for that whole situation to come to more of a peaceful resolution, and it sounds like we're heading to franchise tag territory, which is not.
I do think that obviously they're gonna franchise him. I don't think he plays in the franchise because it's gonna be either one of two things. They negotiate a contract, which is the less likely. They say to Lamar, here's, I don't know, 5 teams willing to trade for you. Go check what they can give you. Remember, this is our offer. We're not shutting the door. Here's our offer in case you don't what they offer you.
Imagine they like
that is crazy because they actually have to talk to Lamar because he doesn't have an agent. So how is that not it's not tampering because they're giving him permission to talk to them?
Yeah,
okay.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
Exactly. I mean, it's the same thing with Watson, right? Watson was under contract, and the Texans said you can talk to Cleveland, you can talk to the Panthers, you can talk to Atlanta, and you can talk to the Saints, right?
But he had an agent, right? He had an agent.
Right? Yeah, but he could have been in the meetings. I don't know if he went to the meetings. But yeah, in the case of Lamar, it's Lamar that will go to those meetings and then see what they offer you. And if you want to come, maybe if they offer you a little more, we might be able to match that and go from there, right? So there's a couple. I just hope, right, we're going to take February off. I'm hoping between March and April, as we're talking about free agency, either whatever direction it goes.
Could you imagine they franchise tag somebody else?
No, why would they do that? They will lose.
They can't. They'll let him walk.
There's nobody else to franchise
you can't
tag.
let him walk. You cannot let him walk.
Just franchise tag.
We're gonna franchise tag Marcus Peters.
By the way, we have gotten a ton of big time super chats, although a lot of them don't have messages with them.
Yeah. So a couple things here. Thank you for everybody that's wishing us, me and Tony, happy birthday. Appreciate that. And here's one. Happy birthday, Sonny and Tony. Thank you, Diddy.
I hope y'all had.
By the way, Sonny, you can use this line this week, and I had this line. It was my birthday was actually on the day the Steelers played the Browns. So when everyone was coming over wishing me happy birthday, I said, "Listen, it's only my birthday. It'll be happy when the Steelers win." You can go ahead and steal that one for Saturday night.
Tomato.
Shout out to Eric R. I don't see your message, but we appreciate that big donation. Oh, there's another one here. Q deserves a better team. Who they? So we know what team is Mr. Eric.
Y'all recruiting, huh? After that betrayal from Ace, I'll publicly put it out here. I will never be a Bengal fan. The betrayal last week was insane. Okay, you know what I mean?
You could be a Steeler fan if you want. We'll allow it.
I'd rather root for the Jets.
It ended after the plastic garbage can or the paper garbage can comment. I just had
if the Chiefs would like to reach out to me, I would love to.
You're making a move over to AFC.
Oh, West, yeah. You know what? I've been in the league long enough. I'm cashing in, getting my ring. You know what I mean? Chiefs and Buffalo. Let's go.
You gotta watch out, Q. They got some fans over there that's robbing banks. And
you know what I mean? Hey, look, that means it's an open spot for me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true.
He's going to have Q pull a heist with him. Maybe one of these days. That was crazy. Did you hear that the bank robber Chiefs fan? He's like a huge Chiefs fan.
He's one of those mascot fans that like shows up to the game in like a wolf.
Wait, did he actually rob a bank, or was it like a meme thing?
He literally robbed the bank in the same costume that he went to the games in.
I don't understand. Like in 2022, you really think you're gonna get away with it? Like, think about how much tech and cameras and everything.
No disrespect to all my homies that go to the game in costumes. No disrespect. But you're talking about common sense from a man who decided one day it was a good idea to wear a wolf uniform at a Chiefs game. Like, you know what I mean? At that point, I think that common sense might have been out the window a long time ago. Because I don't know about you. Have you ever been like, yo, let me wear a costume to a football game that's not on Halloween?
Well, Q, I mean, you are talking to 4 guys who have all like worn costumes on this show.
Yeah,
so,
but that's the troll each other. That's different.
Shout out to Paddlefish here for his super chat. I cannot
Appreciate
see
that.
any comment, but thank you. We appreciate it. Nemo here says, why do y'all keep talking about Lamar's money? Y'all need to stop talking about another man's money and worry about y'all's
Nemo,
money.
do you send super chats talking about Deshaun's contract? If so, I don't want to hear that from you.
I don't think it's
only talking about
his
somebody's money when it's something you don't want to talk about. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But
and we're
the
just
contract
talking about-
figures
I mean,
are
the salary
public.
cap is a huge part of the National Football League.
Yeah.
Roster construction is a huge part of this. We have
And you
to
know
talk
what? If
You have
Lamar
to
had
talk
been
about it.
re-signed and we weren't talking about his money, you'd be fine with that, right? But unfortunately, his contract's a part of the news because he ain't got no contract right now.
Guys, we are getting some massive
Yeah,
super chats.
massive.
This is-
I
Shout
know.
out
Are we
to
getting
Eric.
botted?
Oh my God.
do you get botted from super? I mean, I just feel like this.
I
Eric
don't
guy,
know. It's never happened to me, but like it feels weird.
Yeah.
So when y'all think the Ravens are going pack up Sammy Watkins and send him on his way?
Did you guys
Why?
see the
No. What
comments
happened?
from Sammy Watkins? A little weird.
I guess
He basically was accusing Lamar of not playing because he didn't have a contract.
Oh.
Wait, Sammy's on the team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Maybe that's
he said,
why
I'm
he was-
deciding to play.
And I'm like, it's pretty ironic. that
Wait,
this
Sammy
is coming
Watkins
from
said
Sammy
deciding-
Watkins of all
injury-prone
people?
Sammy
Dog,
Watkins.
What's up with
It's real.
Jadeveon Claudius and
It's real.
Sammy Watkins? 2 can't play all-stars. Talk about what other people play.
Okay,
I mean-
if Lamar chose not to play, the moment he gets traded, Ravens players are going to let this be known. Like that's not going to stay.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
That'll get
Sammy
leaked
Watkins said
quick.
in this league, everybody is pretty much banged up and hurt. I don't want to speak for him in his situation, whatever he's got going on with the contract. I don't know what in the world he's in, but for me, you get a chance to do something special. We all know with Lamar Jackson out there, this team's really freaking good, and special things can happen.
What?
He will this team for a Super Bowl. I don't think he's thinking about it that way.
So one thing I
He's
think
got there's more. He's got an opportunity to win a Super Bowl. Watkins at it. I hope he hobbles back out there. Put him back out there for the pass plays. Don't run him at all, but you never know. That could be wrong. I'm being very selfish right now. I just want him to be back out there. But man, what a great thing it would be to see 8 touch the field. Okay, so it's not as bad as the initial.
Okay, his ending there, man, he really does save it at the
But
end.
boy,
Like-
he didn't. If for a dude who's been in the league as long as he has, he should have known not to say that at the
Yeah,
beginning.
especially for a nation now that only reads headlines. Like, man, you really got to get through the end of that thing.
They're
before-
gonna.
No, this is like
they're
a-
not
this is
gonna.
like a
They're not gonna post
three-paragraph-
that part.
This is a 3-paragraph quote in an article, dog. Like, what were you thinking?
They're gonna post Lamar should hobble out there. That's gonna be
Yeah, exactly. Oh my
like,
god,
you
there's so much
know-
that can be taken out of context.
And y'all know the player's code is like if you get asked about another player in the contract situation, you're not supposed to say anything.
Yeah, don't say
like
anything.
Yeah, he knows kayfabe. Like I don't know why he
Yeah.
decided he was gonna break it just to not break it. Like that was come on. So that's more of a Sammy Watkins just not
Okay, yeah,
not
that's
being
fine.
smart with media than it is like him saying something about Lamar.
Yeah. Eric R, thank you. You've been donating to the show. We do appreciate. We're humble for all the donations. We do appreciate it a lot. Also, congrats in 1 million views for the channel. I'm a little late. You guys are the best for the AFC North. We appreciate that.
We hit 1 million.
We did. I think
$1
a little bit ago. Jason Andrews, shout out to you, man.
1/10 of Mr. Beast video, y'all.
I don't see your super chat, but we do appreciate
1/250th of
the donation. LA Chargers looking for fans. Plenty of positions available there.
Nah, I'm not gonna take no position with the Chargers. Why would I take
oh
a
boy,
downgrade?
oh boy.
Why would I take a downgrade? You know what I mean? Like what LA?
Downgrade.
It's a downgrade. It's a downgrade. Like my views will go down. There's like 10 people who want Chargers content on the internet.
Yeah.
Like, what would I be doing?
Fair.
It's not sustainable.
Eric R here says to make up for Ace. Shout out to you, man. We do appreciate that. And then Eric R here says, Q, you remember the triple threat HBQ, Triple H, John Cena, and HBQ caught Triple H in the shin? Ace, HBQ, Triple H, and Tony John Cena.
Okay, I'm John Cena.
And then I think he said, I think he actually flipped it.
He
Is
said,
that
"I'm Triple H."
when he hit him with the sweet chin music? No,
Oh,
I'm thinking
yeah,
of the
Who's who?
Ric Flair one.
Q is Triple H. Ace is HBK. I'm
All
John
that
Cena.
matters is that I'm the one being turned on and beaten down, but still coming through at the end. You know what I mean? That's what's happening. You know what I mean? All summer. Look, all summer, the Nexus is trying to beat me up. But you know what?
Mhm.
Like John Cena, I power through and I never give up.
Mm-hmm.
Nova Stone here, and his first super chat is not Tom Brady related. Like, slow clap for you. Slow clap for you.
Who would have thought?
Congrats, Ace, for the
Who would've
free
thought?
bye week. Maybe Sid Joe.
Who would have thought? No, I don't know if you missed my message from the Patreon show. You might want to go back and watch that one, especially Cowboys Bucks. You might want to go back and watch that.
You might, yeah, it might be a good watch. Who they Ace? Happy B-Day, Sunny and Tony Q. Have fun with the Factory of Sadness mistake by the Lake Browns.
It's tough talk from a Bengals fan. You know what I mean? Y'all just got over this Cleveland hump. It's pretty fresh. You know what I mean? It's tough talk. It's tough talk. You know what I mean? But, you know, it is what it is. We are not in the playoffs this year, but okay, we'll see.
And then a guy named Tony Serena here.
John Cena. LOL. Cena wins. Steelers win. I like the John Cena reference.
That was an error, bro. Like, we was out here really like, yo, R-Truth gonna beat John Cena, and like, no.
By the way, the poll is out there. I put it out early in the show.
Ooh.
It has around 291 votes currently, but we have 430.
You want me to guess it?
I'm voting for chaos.
Go. What are you thinking?
We actually have a decent amount of Ravens fans in chat today.
They are.
They are.
I like this super chat.
68% Bengals.
Ban that Tony guy. I agree. Go Cat.
Wait, you said 60-40? You said 60-40?
I said 68. Yeah, like 68-32.
20 Ravens. Let's go.
I'm not even gonna tell you right now. I'll tell you after we pay some bills.
All right, let's do it. Let's tell you about our friends over at True Classic. Men have been plagued with bad style for far too long. Department store tees are just not designed to make you look good. They cut corners to give you $5 shirts without quality fabric, and the premium brands that do provide a good fit mark up the price to an insane amount, costing you as much as $60 per t-shirt. Our sponsor, True Classic, is here to save the day, literally. Save big and upgrade your style. For a limited time only, get 25% off True Classic with our exclusive link at trueclassic.com/AFC North Talk. That's trueclassic.com/AFC North Talk. There are some men who just always look good in t-shirts. Most companies make shirts for those guys and forget about everybody else with a normal body. True Classic designed tees to make all the fellas out there feel confident in their clothing. Abs, flabs, dad bod, or past the dad bod. With True Classic shirts, you'll always get the best fit. We've seen you wear ratty t-shirts for years, little pit stains, micro holes, faded colors. You can find softer comfort and better looks in so many different colors at True Classic. True Classic tees taper off towards the bottom, but they fit tighter on the chest and shoulders. This is a desirable look that can be achieved with every body style. They give you a wide shoulder and tapered bottom look that we're all looking for, and the quality is elite. True Classic offers other menswear as well, ranging from polos to workout shirts to boxer briefs, designed to cradle your boys and eliminate discomfort. They make it super easy to build out your wardrobe with premium quality. If you purchase a 6-pack or even a 3-pack, the price per shirt is far more reasonable than any of those marked up premium brands you see floating around. And for listeners out there who are well endowed, they have long options for tall guys and up to 3XL. True Classic also has 100% risk-free guarantees and a 30-day return policy. The response to these t-shirts are overwhelmingly positive with over 70,000 5-star reviews. It's no wonder that these shirts are quickly becoming men's go-tos. Skinny dudes, big dudes, buff dudes, my dudes, True Classic has you covered. Get 25% off True Classic with our exclusive link, trueclassic.com/AFC North Talk.
Also, before we move forward, big shout out to Adam Holland, Dom Gazula. Thank you for being the top tier on the Patreon, and to all our patrons, we thank you for the support. Hopefully you're liking the content. I saw a couple of y'all left some comments. We try to interact with those comments as well. So we do appreciate that. Tony, before I read this super chat here, you said 68.
68-32 Bengals?
It's 83-17 right now.
Wow. All right.
Okay, for those,
we have maybe Ravens fans are actually
Tony,
thinking
you forget there are Ravens fans and then there's Lamar fans, and they make
Oh,
up
that's
the
true.
Ravens
That's
base.
true. Yeah.
not only that, there's Ravens fans, and then there's Bengals fans, Cleveland fans,
Yeah.
Pittsburgh
Steelers
fans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean,
So-
I guess I figured, well, because you figure if all the Ravens fans bet, there's gonna be more Bengals and Ravens fans here than Browns and Steelers fans, right? Because just our team's not playing this week, right?
Yeah.
This is how my math worked in my brain. But yeah, I got flu brain, so you can't trust anything I say.
Just flu brain.
Yeah.
Anyway, Eric, we appreciate
What happened,
the
Jordan?
birthday wish.
I know I still got. Listen, I got ammunition for Deshaun and the
So,
Browns over there. Don't worry about it.
There is a thought out there that Q put out. Q put out that even though it was Tony's birthday, because of the bad juju that he threw out there in last week's episode.
Mm-hmm. I don't know.
That's the universe.
What bad juju? I just pointed out just facts, just things that were factual information, and everybody took that to be like, oh, Tony's trolling the whole episode. We pointed out on the show. We said, look, the division turned out being the most winning division in all of football, and all I said was, yeah, we did. Well, there were 3 winning teams in the division, and there was one team down there who, they didn't read the assignment properly. That's all.
Can you take the super chat off the screen so you can see my comment in my official statement to that?
Sorry.
There it is. Okay, that's all I got to say.
It's terrible.
That's all I got to say.
It's all love, bro.
This is for Noah. So I want to see Tom Brady win Super Bowl on game-winning touchdown against Cincinnati. They ain't making the Super Bowl.
I think his next thing after Burrow retired, or after Brady retires, it's a little Burrow train, Nova. We got some room for you over here. I know Lamar might be gone. We got some room over here.
Next season,
if Nova Stone is a diehard Joe Flacco fan and a diehard Tom Brady fan, is there any quarterback that lacks enough athleticism for him to want to be a fan of left in the NFL, or is this just it for him?
Goff is pretty.
Jared Goff, he's gonna be on the Jared Goff wagon. I don't know.
I haven't seen Goff ever escape a pocket. But I don't see
Jared Goff can spin it though. You know what I mean? Like he's got some traits about him. Like who is the most mediocrely Nova Stone's gonna become a Baker Mayfield fan after this, isn't he? Yes. That's where this is heading.
Victor here says next season all of AFC North will make the playoff. Who they all day, Tuesday, and Sunday. That would be awesome. Like the first division, like the East for a moment looked like they were gonna do that, and then Washington said, do we really want to play in the playoffs?
No, Washington said we want to play Carson Wentz is what we want to do. So
so they said we don't want to be in the playoffs. Because they had a chance to play. Like if everything fell right, they could have played the Vikings first, right? As a 7th seed.
Yeah,
they can beat anybody in any given they can beat the Vikings, and they're like, we don't want to do this.
The Vikings are like when Kurt Angle had the WWF title back in the day, like when he was the first time he had it, and it was like The Rock, Stone Cold, and The Undertaker were all trying to beat each other up so they could fight Kurt Angle and beat him. Like that's what it feels like with the Vikings. Is like they are the least respected. Well, are they a 2 seed? Are they a 2 seed or something?
No, they're a 3 seed.
They're a 3 seed. They're the least respected 10+ win team I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Yeah.
And I appreciate it. By the way, I just want to say that I appreciate the Vikings for doing that a lot. Well, we won't even talk about why. As long as no one gets that reference, that's what makes me happy is no one even gets that reference anymore. Yeah, because the Vikings are that fake, fraudulent as an 11+ win team. We don't even think about other fraudulent 11+ win teams anymore.
Yeah,
No, there aren't any other. I couldn't even think of another one. That's the one. I think.
No, and here's what's crazy: like that 2020 Steelers team was fraudulent. This Vikings team is so much more fraudulent.
Yeah.
Thank you. And again,
and that team lost to White Vic. You know what I mean? Like on Monday Night Football. Yeah, like that's
Yeah.
the team that we're talking about. And it's like, nah, man, the Minnesota Vikings are so much more fraudulent than that because I could kind of believe that Big Ben will win a game in the fourth quarter. Kirk Cousins, though. Ah, man.
Rory here says Bengals are the better team right now. We all not.
Yeah, see, this is what I thought. Like Ravens fans would have to be voting for the Bengals in order for it to be that high, which I guess they are.
What's the fun in that? What's the fun in that, Raven fans? No, be
know.
unreasonable. They gonna hate you anyways. You think Bengal fans gonna be like, you know what? 10% of them did vote for us in the poll. They were reasonable, or are they gonna troll you to death after they beat you? What do you think's gonna happen? You think they're gonna make Roquan jokes, or you think they're gonna be like, no, you know what? You guys were pretty reasonable about taking that L. That's never how this goes. You know what I mean? Come on. You might as well be unreasonable to the bitter last drop.
I have my next quarterback. He back in Tampa Bay's home on Tom Brady's home. Who's that?
Is it Tom Brady's son?
Yeah, like
I know he's not talking about Blaine Gabbert.
He's not talking about Mac, is he?
I mean, the only other person I know that's lived in Tom Brady's house does not play quarterback.
No. Tom Brady's home is New England, right? You have to imagine Tom Brady's home is New England.
No.
No, he's got to be referring to
49ers. The San Francisco.
Brock Purdy.
Oh, Jimmy Garoppolo would be a good candidate for
Jimmy
him.
G.
Oh my God, Noah Stone, I need you now to give us more
now Noah Stone. You know,
I think he's talking about Tom Brady's kids.
Oh, God.
Which is a hell of a wait. That's like 10 years. And like, what if the kid stinks?
Yeah. It's not
like Tom Brady's passing down a ton of athletic traits. You know what I mean? Let's be real about it. Like, all Tom Brady has is intangibles. And like, that kid ain't going, you're not going to be as thirsty for success if you Tom Brady's kid as Tom Brady was. That's insane.
I mean, think about like Michael Jordan's kids, right? They weren't as thirsty as Michael Jordan.
Usually, if the parent was good, the kid sucks. And usually, if the parent sucked, the kid is good. You never get lightning in a bottle where both
I can tell you one. Well,
there is one.
The Griffins
one right now.
And then Harrison Jr. I said this in the Patreon.
Well, he hasn't played in the NFL yet.
Well, that's
There's
true.
one in the NFL right now where his son is just as good as he was.
Who, Pat Surtain?
Pat Surtain.
Yeah.
Asante Samuel Jr. is not terrible.
Yeah,
no, I like Asante Samuel Jr.
No,
too.
he's not
I mean, like some of them are good. Like Steph Curry's, Dale Curry's the son.
Okay,
and like
but let's
Dale
talk
Curry was
about
a solid player.
2 Hall of Famers, like Hall of Fame dad, Hall of Fame son.
It's only
I don't know.
Griffey's. You can only get
Griffey's.
Marvin Harrison Sr. He's definitely. I think he's going to be a Hall of Famer. He's not yet, but I think he will.
No, I think he is. He is already, right?
He is?
I think he is. Yeah.
Okay.
Didn't he get in before T.O.? I thought he got in before
You might be right. You might be
Did
right.
he get in
He's in the
before
Hall
he
of Fame.
shot
Yeah, he's in the Hall of
somebody?
Fame.
Yeah, he got in before T.O.
That's would have been what kept him out because he did shoot.
We got a lot of Marvin Harrison stories. That's a funny guy.
Oh, no,
Yeah,
Marvin Harrison.
the kid right now.
That kid got it in him, dog. If he grew up around Marvin Harrison Sr.
But
that man was working security.
That was not a sheltered environment growing up.
Just know that man was working security at the club that he owned. Just know that about Marvin Harrison.
Google Marvin Harrison off the field. You're going to find out some stuff, y'all.
That's another one. Like, Google Marvin Harrison stuff, not football related.
He is not the man that you associate with Peyton Manning as much as you think. No, that man was out here. Ain't he from New Orleans?
One Blues here says 1 million view. Nice guys. Happy birthday, Tony and Sonny. Sorry for the look. Big booty beat on your birthday weekend, Sonny.
I didn't say it.
That's all I needed. Thank you.
I did not say it.
Thank you, One Blue, for the
we're
birthday
gonna have,
we're gonna have to ban some words from chat.
1 Blue.
Eric here. 1 million views. That's what's up. I appreciate the super chat. Well,
appreciate all the support today. This is awesome.
Okay, let's talk about this game. Ace, do you want to let Tony is a terrible person go first? Okay, who wants to get it? You want to get it?
Tony is a terrible person.
Yeah, I'll go ahead.
You don't have to refer to. You don't have to refer to him that way. You could just say.
Tony I would prefer to it. I would prefer it. Yeah, I mean, I would prefer
you go by Tony is a terrible person now.
For the moment until I decide to change it. Yeah.
Okay, cute. Go ahead, man.
One team has Joe Burrow, the other team has Tyler Huntley. Maybe Tyler Huntley.
No, he's practicing. He's
And
practicing.
maybe they might have Tyler Huntley, if not a hobbled Tyler Huntley. One team has the collection of 3 of the greatest wide receivers that you might see in the NFL on one team. The other team has Sammy Watkins playing significant minutes.
Well,
on
he's
the
wide
team.
receiver 1 right now.
He's wide receiver 1 in 2022.
Is Mike Thomas wide receiver too?
A-Rob.
Okay, I was about to say.
D-Rob or A-Rob?
A-Rob.
Who
No,
y'all got? Who is the wide
D-
receivers
I'm
for
sorry.
the Ravens?
I'm sorry, D-Rob.
They
Bro,
cut
you kept saying
Deshaun
A-Rob, and I was
Jackson.
like, wait,
Okay,
you get it corrected or what
here's
happened? Did I
all
miss
you need to
something?
know about the Ravens' 2 starting wide receivers. They were on other teams in April. I mean, in
No.
September,
Robinson was here all year.
in August.
Not
Yeah,
in
oh, yeah.
August. No,
He
got
was
signed
cut
right
from the
before.
Raiders.
He got
got
signed
cut.
right before the season.
You got
Yeah.
both of your wide receivers off the waiver wire, dog. This is not fantasy football. This is bad. Okay.
He wasn't okay. So Robinson also was not a waiver pickup. He
he cleared waivers.
Mike Thomas
That's
was
worse.
a waiver pickup,
He was. He's in the practice. No.
Okay, so right now the Baltimore Ravens are running out there with the fantasy football roster. You know, they got guys off waivers, guys who've cleared waivers.
we might actively end Isabella.
Oh wow, yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
my
Andy
God.
Isabella. Was that a trade?
Hey, that's right. He did.
Was that at least a
that's right.
trade?
No, that was a pickup from Wire.
Mm,
Waiver pickup.
yeah. I wonder who's gonna win this game. Bengals by like 10.
By 10. So wait, the spread right now is a 10.5, Tony, or is it 10?
They
Jeez.
moved down.
The
Didn't it move
spread
back
is
down
on
to
10?
eight?
Down. Okay.
It's
This
going
is
down
the
to eight.
interesting thing. Late money, and we'll see what happens towards game time. Late money's coming in on the Ravens here.
Okay, because 10 is an incredibly like.
It was 10.5.
I know. I said this yesterday on the Patreon. I said, look, if it gets any higher, I probably got to bet this. I'm going to bet this on the Ravens.
No, that's insane. 10 is insane.
It's down back to 8.5. It came back down to 8.5.
Okay, it should be at like 6.5. Like it should be a touchdown.
The over under is at 40.5 too.
Because the Ravens have a good enough defense to keep this low scoring enough, and then they'll just lose by like a touchdown, like they always do. So, like I would say, I would keep it at that, but I would think they would win by 10. Yeah.
Okay, so Tony, what do you think?
Okay, so I mean, like you said, right? I mean, this game got way less interesting once we found out Lamar's not going to play.
Even if he was playing, it wouldn't be that interesting.
Now, I thought, see, and that's why I disagree, right? And again, I've been like oddly the Ravens homer of the non-Ravens fans on this show. Like I've been the one guy who's like, no, I kind of understand what they're doing. You know, there was a version of this game that could play out where like the defense just shuts down Burrow and stuff. You know, again, like if I'm a Bengals fan today. I guess, well, again, this is without Lamar playing. If Lamar was playing, I would feel like if I was a Bengals fan, man, we got this is a bad matchup for us because it's a division game in the wild card round. You got to play a team for a third time. Good defense. Anything can happen in these games, right? If you're a Bengals fan, you would have much rather in this game played like the Dolphins or the Chargers or literally any of the other wild card teams other than your division opponent.
Chargers, Herbert.
Yeah, because what I'm saying is like the Ravens, like they're going to come in defensively. The reason why the over under is at 40.5 is because they don't expect this to be a booty beatdown, right? This is not like the Bengals are going to come in and just throw 30 on the Ravens, even though. I mean, with Tyler Huntley at quarterback, they probably should. I mean, that's just slander, Q. I mean, that's just straight. That you want a holdout situation.
Okay.
I mean,
I'm sorry. I'll take it down.
So, look, I think this game would have been more interesting because I would have been interested to see how well the Ravens could slow down, Burrow and company and make things interesting for Lamar. This game, I think someone wrote in earlier, right? Like they basically wrote out like exactly how this game has to play out for the Ravens to win. And this is so game script dependent. I'm just ignoring that. I mean, that is like, this game is so game script dependent now for the Ravens. They like that person said, if I'm the Ravens, I almost want to take the ball. I want to take the ball early. I want to drive down 8-9 minute drive. Convert a lot of third and shorts all the way down the field. And then, and I know this Sonny's going to disagree with me on this one. I'm going for it on fourth. I got to get a touchdown. I'm going for it on fourth down in the red zone.
This is the game.
Okay, thank you. So wait, no.
Oh no! So
change it.
This
Sonny
is the game
AWS.
where he
Sonny
kicks the field goal.
now.
This is the game where he kicks the field goal.
Yeah, of course he's going to drive down and kick the field goal. They're going to lose this game.
No. I feel like John Harbaugh listens to this and he's like, "All right, I'm going to lose, but this is how we got to do it, guys.
Yeah.
Like we have to do everything that Sonny hates because he likes this content.
Yeah.
Too. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? The show's better when he does that. You know?
I think that's got to be. I mean, look, they got to go for every fourth down in this game. I mean, well, and I guess we'll see. I mean, I think the first 2 drives of this game are going to tell us a lot. If the Ravens can't really establish the run game, if this is a Logan Wilson, DJ Reader, Jermaine Pratt type of game, like that front is really coming to play. The Ravens are going to be in for a really long day. Also, if Burrow's under pressure, I mean, remember, there's no Alex Kappa in this game. So, I don't think any of us are going to sit here today and say the Ravens have the greatest front four this Bengals team's ever gone up against. But, they're formidable enough. I mean, they're going to have to get pressure with Ford in this game. They're going to have to get to Burrow, make him uncomfortable, and they're going to have to be able to run the ball. I mean, it is like this, they have like this way of winning that is so specific that's why the line's 8.5. And that's why I think everyone here today is probably going to pick, if you're going to ask me straight up, the Bengals win this game. The question on covering, I think they do cover 8.5. Again, like I said, if it went over 10, that's where I would start to feel like maybe that's a little high. But yeah, I think the Bengals will win this football game.
Ace, you want to go first? Want me to go first?
You can go first.
Okay. So this is a game, obviously, the Lamar Jackson, obviously everybody's expecting the Bengals to win, to trout the Ravens. The Ravens are a very prideful team, right? So I don't think the Ravens, if you think about last week, even though they basically said anybody that was on the offensive side, that they were like Seidler, the veteran, they said like the Seidler has no injury at all. You go take a rest week. Mark Andrews take a rest week, right? And then they play a lot of the offensive guys. On the defensive side, Stevens came out with illness. I don't even know if he plays because he ended up being in the hospital that night over there in UC. And then Marcus Peters, he could have played. He's been practicing, but they were like, nah, that's it, right? But that defense came because they're very prideful. There's a player that I believe if he goes off, the Ravens have no chance of winning. None. I would like to ask you guys, who do you think that I think is that player?
Steve Irwin.
It's a starter. It's a starter.
It's a starter.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, my first thought was T. Higgins, but now knowing
Eli
you're a trenches
Apple.
guy, it's going to be Joe Mixon.
What do you think, Ace?
I actually didn't. I was looking up something. I didn't hear what you had asked.
I think there's a player, if it goes off,
Does Drew Sample start?
Absolutely lose. And it's an offense, right?
Offensive player?
Yeah.
Jamar Chase?
We know who it is. It's his boy, T. Higgins.
No, it's actually Joe Mixon. It is Joe Mixon.
He's a trenches guy. Come on, we know.
Joe Mixon goes off, like if Joe Mixon's going off on the running game, there's no hope. There's no hope because now play action is available. Now you have to cheat and bring some people down, and that will open, and then Higgins and then Chase will be open, right? So there becomes a party. If you essentially then can cap not only Mixon but P. Ryan, right? No disrespect to P. Ryan, just saying Mixon because he's the starter. The running game, if you can cap that running game into around 3.3 or less. And the other thing you have to do, which the Ravens did good for the most part, the check down to the running back. That's the go-to for Joe Burrow. Like if you go check this winning streak, what Joe Burrow learned is, you're gonna push everybody back. You're gonna play me that too high. I'm gonna have a check down here in the flat of my running back or a middle curl, right? A 3-yard dump off, and my running back is gonna gain 10 or 12, right? And move the chains. And he's done great with that, right? In this past game, Roquan Smith stopped basically all those for 2 or 3 yards minus. If you go back, I watched it. I went back and watched it in the tape. I think Roquan got too excited. Both Roquan and Marcus Williams took the outbound angle, and Joe Mixon's like, the middle of the field's open. And I think he ran for like 15 or 20 yards on a 3-yard pass, right? Those things cannot happen. So when I say Joe Mixon and P. Ryan is both on the running side and on the passing side for that check down, because If you put them on third down and you cover Chase well and you cover T. Higgins well and your safeties are in good position and the dump up for 2 yards goes and becomes a 15-yard to move the chain, that's how you're going to lose this game very quickly. So those things on defense need to be there, right? Running back room, I don't care, because if you stop mixing and then P. Ryan comes here and eats, it's the same problem, right? The other thing that this defense needs to do, they do need to generate pressure. They do need to generate pressure without blitzing. If you're gonna generate pressure with blitzing, again, you're gonna get eat alive. Thank you, Q. I like your picture. If you're gonna generate pressure with blitz, then you're done. You're done because all Joe Burrow has to do is say, okay, who's one-on-one with Higgins and who's one-on-one with Chase. Let's say he doesn't want to test Marlon, right? He didn't test it last week, but just for pure, everybody's blitzing. Oh, is Higgins Marcus Peters? Well, I'm just gonna throw it there on the outbound side, up, and Higgins is just gonna go get it, right? And if it is Chase, right, he's just gonna throw it like that, and it's just gonna open it for a big play. Now, if you can pressure with 4, then you have a chance. Now, even with that, it cannot happen what happened last week, which Joe Burrow was a wizard. He was like, oh, you're pressuring me here. Whoop, slide back, bye-bye, slide to the left side. Now, that cost him a fumble, which the Ravens couldn't even, in the red zone, which the Ravens couldn't even score on it. But still, also preventing for drives to stop for the Bengals. So fun defense, the key points is, like I said, stopping the running game and the running backs in the passing game and pressure Joe Burrow. Saying to stop the receivers, I mean, that's a given. Like, if you can stop them, I don't think we could. But if you can slow them down a little bit, and I think how you slow them down is with the other 2 points that I made. Now, if I go on the other side on offense, well, you pray first. Let's pray. Let's pray, Ravens fans. Let's pray that the team can play decently, right? The Bengals are a good defense. So it's not like the Bengals are a pushover, right? Bengals are a good defense, and our offense is subpar. So obviously, my first instinct is I'm gonna go there. I'm gonna put a little circle 1 in the morning with my boy Max, my dog. We're gonna pray together for a little bit. Say like, just bless Huntley, let him do his thing. But no, obviously we need to establish the run game. If the run game is 0, there's no faith here in Huntley. I know he's a Pro Bowler, which is an internal joke that we have here. There's no faith in Huntley to move the ball consistently. He will have a play here, a play there, right? But the running game has to be established. Second, the O-line has to play better. Last week, Stanley, I thought it was Stanley's worst game last week. I don't know if he was basically almost like, but it's so hard for O-line to say, like, I'm not going to play all in because you get hurt or you're not playing all in. But I thought, even though Hendrickson had very few snaps, Hendrickson had the best of him. Now, he can learn from that, right? Because he had him last week and then go in. But he Stanley has been playing great football this year. But I thought that was his worst game. The O-line has to play better. If the O-line plays good and it has running lanes and at least gives Huntley time to throw, then you have a chance. Huntley, even with time to throw, there's no guarantee he's going to make plays, but at least gives you a chance to make a play. Mark Andrews has to come big in the passing game, right? This is a game that Mark Andrews knows, like, I have to come big. If they triple team Mark Andrews, then somebody else needs to make a damn play, right? My problem with Robinson is Robinson has this thing. Do you want to talk about something that drives me crazy? Go watch when Robinson catches the ball. This MFer puts the ball in his hands, which is fine. And then as he's running, it's not like he has it here. He takes it completely away. You know how you're not washing my hand?
Oh, he one-hands it like LaShawn McCoy. But
like Deshaun Jackson used to, yeah.
He puts
He
it
learned that
both
from
of
Deshaun.
Anything can be a fumble with him, right? So can somebody
wait a
else
minute.
play? Go ahead.
No, I heard what Tony said. It was some slick.
Oh, I didn't hear him. Sorry.
You said Deshaun Jackson, and he was like, "Oh yeah, something about another Deshaun." Okay.
No, I didn't.
No, okay.
You're hearing things. You're in your own head now. You know, you're in your own head. I don't even need to tell jokes anymore.
No, you know what? You think you scored 60? You got like 8 points right now. You know what I mean?
So saying all that, Do I give the Ravens a shot? Yes, I do give the Ravens a shot. Not only because I'm a Ravens homer, obviously, but I think if the thing is, the margin of error for the Bengals is about this, right?
Yo, they
Obviously,
saying Hayden Hurst is better than Mark Andrews in the comments.
that's good for whoever said that. But the margin of error is like this for the Bengals to win the game. For the Ravens, about this, right? Like they almost had to play a perfect game to win this game. But there's a chance. I think they could, and I'm gonna pick them to win 20-17 Ravens. And for the person that said that whoever this person is, the Mark Andrews, Hayden Hurst not better than Mark Andrews, but Hayden Hurst a goddamn good tight end. I will say that Hayden Hurst, he is a good tight end.
I thought you were going to say that Hurst was going to be the guy who needed to go off because, the middle of the field with Roquan is going to be such an important part of this game. And
you got to attack the weaknesses, so you got to go straight at Roquan.
Yeah, well, I would do the running back. I would do the running back on a wheel, personally. Getting the running back on a wheel route, and then your quarterback rolls left, I think is the best way to attack him.
How much money is that? $100 million for that? For that?
You make your jokes. Anyway, Ace, let's go with you. I'll take super chats later. Ace, let's go with you.
Bengals fans, they're doing it again. I'm not saying Sonny is doing this, but they're doing it again. We always, last year, during the same time, had to hear about the other team's defense, how, all this stuff about their defense. No one talks about the Bengals defense. To Sonny's credit, he did. The Bengals defense is the key in this game, right? When you look at the splits with DJ Ridder when he plays against the Ravens, they average 3.4 yards per carry. That is going to be key in this game because if the Ravens are to win, it's how they typically win with using J.K. Dobbins, using Gus Edwards. They're going to have to slow both of those guys down in this game. Do I have concerns about that? No, I don't. Because what the splits tell me is not only is Baltimore the second run defense on the road, the Bengals at home are the third best run defense. I'm not worried about them being able to stop the run in this game because that's something that they do well. What I am worried about when it comes to this is how can we essentially be consistent against this defense. It is a good defense. They're going to give you the too high look. We know what's going to happen. Are they going to use the same strategy that they used last week with going empty and spreading them out and forcing 101s, taking what's underneath with the option routes? Are they going to do that? I think that they pretty much are. They're going to try to dictate what that defense is able to do. I think like Sonny's saying, you don't want to blitz against these guys. Now, one thing that was interesting last week is that they did pre-snap show a lot of blitz looks, and then they dropped back into coverage. I've got to wonder, and Burrow's probably got to wonder, if they're going to deploy that this week. And so I think from an offensive standpoint, you just have to be consistent, and you do have to take advantage of the secondary. There's a lot of big names over there, but when you look at the splits, the Baltimore pass defense in terms of just yardage is about 26. So there are plays to be had there on that secondary. I don't know what they're going to do in this game, though, because since they've lost Marcus Peters, they've done a lot of big dime, which I think is actually smart with them putting Hamilton on Tyler Boyd with that package. So with Marcus Peters coming back, I'm assuming he's just going to take Worley's spot last week, but it'll be real interesting to see what they do there. Are they going to move Humphrey into the slot or not? Because the Bengals are definitely going to put Chase in different places. You'll definitely see him in the slot in this game. He was in the slot 30% of the last game. That was one of the things that they tried to do to attack that cover two look. So that'll be interesting to see. The other thing is this, Tyler Huntley. When I look at Tyler Huntley and I look at his career, every season he's been a starter, he's had more interceptions than he's had touchdowns. That's something that's been a thing for this Bengals defense. I talked about it earlier on Twitter. They just know how to get turnovers. They've won the turnover margin in a lot of the games that they've had this year. That's something that this defense has really prided itself on. They've won games on it. You go back to the Patriots game, Ramon Stevenson fumbles on their doorstep in a game they probably should have lost. You go back to the Tom Brady game. Sorry, Nova, but you know what happened in that game. There was a lot of turnovers in that game as well. And a lot of it comes from some of the confusing looks that Lou does to quarterbacks. They'll try to do that. If Huntley is hobbled, that's going to be an issue. So I think Lou is going to come to play, and the defense is going to be measuring this game. The offense, here's the thing. When Joe Burrow played Wink 2 times, Wink kind of dominated him, right? He couldn't figure it out. That third time, That's when Joe put it together. He's faced this new defensive coordinator 2 times, right? And in the second time, even though there were turnovers and all of that, in a game where he played bad, he still was able to put up 21 points. I think Joe Burrow in this game is going to have it figured out, because as soon as Joe Burrow gets familiar with the defensive coordinator and what they like to do, once he's got you figured out, it's hard to stop him. And so I think Joe is definitely going to do that. Could this be a Joe Mixon game? Not on the ground. I mean, I'd be lying sitting here saying that I would want to run right into that Ravens defense that's elite at stopping the run. The way that Joe Mixon is going to do something in this game is going to be on those dump outs. It's going to be in the passing game. It's going to be in the flats, trying to make someone miss and try to get a first down. That's the only way that it's going to happen, because the Ravens are a spectacular run defense. You got to convert on all of these possessions that you have, because the Ravens are a good defense. They can get turnovers. They do have Marcus Peters. They do have Roquan Smith. So those are guys that can get picks and stuff like that. So you definitely have to be careful. But in terms of the defense, I think another thing no one's really talking about, and I know it's a very small sample size, but in 18 snaps against Ronnie Stanley, Trey Hendrickson had 2 sacks. That just cannot happen. If that is a matchup, if that continues to happen in this game, that is somewhere where the Bengals can also win inside of the trenches. On the offensive side of the ball, they're going to have their hands full with that Ravens defensive line. I know Elway hasn't really been the guy, but I think Ajabo has kind of flashed and did a little bit in that last game. That's going to be the guy I think that they have to worry about, as well as Calais Campbell. He's going to try to get pressured on Joe. We're going to have to see how that right side holds up. They did okay last week. It really was the left side that really struggled in that game, but we'll have to see. I mean, to me, if you give up 2 sacks, maybe even 3, that's okay. It just can't be a 5-6 sack game, because that is obviously the key against the Bengals. So for me, I think with all that said, I think the Bengals do win this one. I think that it's a shame that we don't have Lamar Jackson in this game, because everybody really wants to see that. I feel like we're kind of being a little bit robbed here, especially with this being, believe it or not, the first time that the Ravens and Bengals have faced each other in the playoffs. So unfortunately, we got robbed of that. I'm going to take the Bengals here. I'm going to go Bengals 27, Ravens 18.
27-18 for Ace. So Ace has them covering the spread. Okay, let's see some super chats here that we had. Happy birthday. How many Lombardi trophies will each team win in the next 5 years?
Easy. The Browns are going to win all 5 of the next 5.
Not including this year, obviously, right?
No, including this year. We'll find a way.
Well, let's see if they get by Kenny Pickett. Oh, wait.
We'll find a way. We'll sneak in.
Steve West here says, I'm an Ogunjobi fan. I think it's cool he could tour the AFC North when his current contract is up, which I think is this year.
No, he has 1 year deal, yeah.
Okay. Will he end up be old enough to play for the Ravens? I see the last dig there.
That's a nice
good
one. That's good.
I was talking to a guy who thought the Steelers were going to re-sign him, which I was kind of surprised by. I figured he would go get a big contract somewhere else.
You think he's going to get a big contract?
Well, he got a big contract last year with the Bears, right? Yeah. So you figure he didn't have a bad year this year.
It's the Bears.
Well, he didn't get that contract though, right?
No, he failed his physical.
He failed his physical. There was he had a injury last year with the Bengals, and from what I heard from somebody close, they said the screw in his foot broke, and so the Bears freaked out once they did the X-ray and saw that and pulled the deal off of the table.
Yeah. Thank you, Bears. Bears just keep helping the Steelers. I mean, the Bears really did a lot to help the Steelers this year, and I appreciate that. Really appreciate that.
And the Texans did too, right? Anyway,
Texans helped us out, yeah.
Do you think the NFL?
Oh wow! Okay, Sonny. Wow, that was to get back at the Roquan. Okay.
No. I'm just saying because the Texans ended up not being the first, so they. ended
Oh,
up
I
being-
thought you meant because they traded Deshaun to the Browns and he was terrible.
Oh.
Sorry.
Why would you lay
thought-
him up like that? I tried to
thought that's
tell
what you were
you.
saying.
Why would
By
you
the way,
lay
you
him
two,
up like that?
I mean, that was so.
That was-
you guys like
that was an
volleyball.
assist.
I mean, that was
That
like
was an
you guys, that was like
assist.
stat and
That was an
I-
assist.
That was
I
both of
didn't-
you. No,
I
that
was
was
gave
both
him
not
a free-
talking.
No.
I was not
Let,
talking
let the record reflect. I was not involved in this.
No,
You-
that's
yeah,
true.
okay.
He stayed out of that
All
one.
right. Okay.
You know what
Stay
I
out of
mean?
that
That's like when you play basketball and the dude on your team gets in your way and screens you from your man. Like that's what happened. I'm like, move, Sonny, move. What are you doing? And he's like, what you mean? And then boom, all of a sudden, free lane open a dunk. What's going on, Sonny? Communicate.
I literally was talking because the Texas won, and that's why the Steelers had the 32nd pick, which is
Mhm.
technically the last pick in the first round.
True. Yeah, that did happen too. But no, I'm more of a fan of Mr.
Shout out to the
Watson.
only franchise dumb enough to get conned by the Bears.
Do you think the NFL will eventually take away the bye for the number 1 seed and add more teams to the play? I think they will, which I don't
Yes,
like.
there will be an 8
Yeah,
team.
I wish we would have had 8 teams. Honestly,
I won't.
So do I.
No,
So do I.
no, what?
So do I.
No.
So
I
Why?
think
do
we should
I.
be 6.
Why? Why?
Six.
Why?
Mm.
Why do
Six.
we need 8 teams?
Can never have enough football,
Can't
bro.
have enough. Because, and you know what would have been screwed up about it is that we would, Filipponi would have been wrong only because he was 1 round too early. Because the Steelers would end up playing the Jaguars in the second round of the playoffs. So yeah. No, actually, that's not true. We would end up playing the Bills because we would beat the Chiefs. Then play the Bills.
Doesn't matter. Y'all eliminated anyways. Let's move on.
Just saying.
Eric here says Hayden Hurst is about to go off. Same with
I agree.
Henderson.
He's a big key in this game for sure. Hayden Hurst.
He is a key man. If the Ravens can't take him away, it is game, set, match. Because I know AC, we're talking about like everybody's talking about the Ravens defense. Look, the reason why we're talking about the Ravens defense, in fairness to the Bengals, is because that's the only chance the Ravens have to win this football game. And no one expects that Huntley in that run game is going to run through that. But I think, maybe you're right in saying that we are taking this Bengals defense for granted because they are good. I think we all expect that this is not going to be a game where that Ravens run defense is going to have a huge game. And so it's going to mean this game has to be real ugly, like Steelers style ugly, in order for Baltimore to be competitive.
Professor Chaos says, Sonny, Lamar's a peacock. You have to let him
You have
fly.
to let him fly. I'm a peacock. You got to let me fly.
And then we get here a super chat from Snips Play. Looking forward to next season. Y'all keep talking bad about the Browns. We'll see what happens next year. But
Good luck.
Okay. Good luck to Bengals for the Super Bowl push. I'm not talking
Shots
bad.
every
While
time the
all of
Browns-
you guys are sitting out here talking about your playoff hopes and your playoff dreams, you know what the Browns are doing? We working. Okay, we working, dog. We out here working. Okay, when y'all out here trying to figure out, we're hiring a new defensive coordinator to scheme on y'all again next year. Okay, we're already on the clock. We having us not making the playoffs is actually giving us a head start on everybody else. So watch out next year, y'all. Watch out because the league done messed up. The league done messed up.
Carol Austin without help of Flores. I don't know, Tony. I don't know.
It's Tom. I mean, this Terrell Austin stuff that's been going around. Why are people? It's Mike Tomlin's defense. I mean, did we not literally hear from Keith Butler the day he resigned when he's like, "Yeah, I never called the plays. I would have liked to have called the plays. I never called the plays. It was Tomlin." Like, I got.
I will let you know from personal experience. You better thank God for that because Terrell Austin, that man gave up like 1,000 yards in 2 games. I think he was ready. He had us on par to set the record for like one of the worst defenses ever.
So while you guys talking about, what you're going to do in the playoffs this year, I just want y'all to know that the Browns are hard at work, working on next year to make it the year. You know what I mean? So, make all your jokes now, but we're working. We're a scrappy bunch.
The offseason is the Browns' regular season. That's where they do all their best work.
Yeah, okay. We tend to do the best against the Steelers once the regular season is over.
Eric with another big super chat.
Like that one, Tony?
Well,
add that to the total. Add that to the total.
I was
11 to 8.
I know you got real offended. I was saying that you guys had 7 to 10, 7 to 10.
I was saying I had some bangers. You know what I mean? Add one to the total. That's another point.
No, you can't. You 17-game season, so you had 7 to 10 good ones.
You know what I mean? Oh, okay. That was okay. That's what that was. Okay. Well, you know what, Tony?
Mike Hilton pick 6, 500 to your favorite charity ace.
So I think he's saying if there is a Mike Hilton pick 6, 500.
Wow.
Yeah, let's do it.
You guys want to go through some
Let's
prop
do
bets
it.
real quick? No one wants to do that.
You can. Well, hold on. Let me read this.
I wouldn't mind prop bets. You have them pulled up, Tony?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, okay.
Dude, it's the only thing I can
Let's
say
hear
about this
'em.
game.
Let's
I'm not gonna
hear
go
'em.
over it.
Tony, let me read this one and then
Yeah,
throw
go
a
for
couple.
it.
You guys
Go
have
for
a
it.
problem.
I have enjoyed watching your show this year. As a Ravens fan, I'm completely depressed. Laura, hopefully, Laura, we pull this game and maybe some heel Sony comes.
Oh,
showing.
heel Sonny would be fantastic.
Okay,
Bring the
but heel
chain out and
Sony-
everything,
heel-
dude.
Heel Sony might have Spanish words randomly just blabber.
Yeah,
you
that's
know?
fine.
Hey, look,
Do
Hill
it.
Sonny will be great for 1 week, but next week, ooh boy,
That's okay.
a problem.
That's okay.
I don't think.
When
I
people
don't
start
think.
saying that the win percentage in the playoffs is better with Tyler Huntley than it is Lamar Jackson,
If Lamar leaves, why would I care?
Yeah, exactly. At this point, with
Oh,
Lamar,
then you
pretty
on
much
to the
out
new
door.
generation. You on to the
Yeah, exactly.
What did
On
they
to the
pay
next one.
Tyler Huntley before they pay Lamar?
Nah, because they know Tyler
They
Huntley.
extend them. They give Tyler Huntley a 3-year extension and just be like, "Hey, Lamar, we're still working on your deal."
In Patreon, I said they can, like, if they trade Lamar, they can do a couple of things. They can, get one of the vets. They can sign, or they can pick one of this quarterback class, or they can say, "F it, let's tank. Let's leave him Huntley. Let's tank."
3 years, 150 million. Tyler Huntley. Let's go right now.
Nah, and then let's go for Caleb.
Let's go. 3 years, 150.
Go ahead, Tony.
Oh, you guys want? Okay, so props. There's one that I really like, and I'm gonna need Bengals fans to tune out for a second. They're gonna get mad, but it's like I kept looking through all. Look, I will give whoever does the props. These are all very good props. Like all the lines and everything, I think are exactly where you'd expect them to be, except one. I think I understand why, but it's Joe Burrow interception total, and it's over under half an interception. Joe Burrow has 12 interceptions this year. They all came against the division, or I think, well, I don't know, 10 of them I think came against. I mean, like he had a ton of them. All of them came in division play. He had one this year against the Ravens. He didn't have one last week though. So it's over under half an interception. All he has to do is throw one, and it's straight even money. Which I was like, okay, I could see if it was juiced a little bit, but it's not even juiced. I would guess that it's this way because they have to figure that Burrow is going to go into this game knowing that, like, you just have that mentality of like the only way
throw that much.
Yeah, you can't have interceptions in this game, right? So in order for him to throw an interception, you would imagine it's going to be something tipped or a spectacular defensive play, but it's not going to be like a complete bonehead play on Joe's part where he's trying to fit the ball into a tight window because there's no need in a game like this.
I'll take the over.
Yeah. So that was to me is like, okay, I mean, that one is like interesting because it's even money, even though like Joe's throwing all his interceptions in the division. The other one that stood out to me is anytime touchdown scores. So they have Mixon as the most likely anytime touchdown scorer at minus 126. But then even money again is either Jamar Chase or T. Higgins. Now there's two things here. I think one of those two is scoring, right? But you can't, if you bet one, you really have to pick one because if you bet them both and only one scores, right? Obviously you push essentially. But I do think you got to kind of pick which one you want. And then the question is, are they going to score? How many touchdowns are they scoring in this game? I like Tyler Boyd, by the way, is like plus 300 to score a touchdown.
Anytime touchdown for Tyler Boyd?
Anytime touchdown, Tyler Boyd, plus 280. Yeah. And then Dobbins and Edwards are both plus 210, plus 450 for anytime touchdown scored. If you think the Ravens are going to score a touchdown in this game.
What's Tyler Huntley at?
They don't have, so this is the other problem with this is they don't have any Tyler Huntley numbers at all. You cannot, like, they haven't put them out yet. They probably won't put them out till tomorrow in all likelihood. Joe Mixon's carry numbers, like how many times is Joe Mixon going to carry the football? Over under 14 and a half. Seems a little low, although you would just, that number I think is assuming that the ground game doesn't get going for
Thing with the
Cincinnati.
Ravens though, you don't really want to run on them.
Right.
I mean, they came last week throwing a lot. The Bengals did,
Yeah.
which I was shocked. I was like, wow, it's not like the game to
What do you guys
throw.
think about this one? J.K. Dobbins over under 13 and a half carries.
Oh, well, Gus Edwards might play, right?
Yeah.
Gus Edwards is going to play. I would say over if Gus Edwards wasn't playing. Gus Edwards playing, I don't know. because they
I don't
both.
think
I
the
can see them
Ravens are
both
gonna-
getting.
I just don't think the Ravens are going to be in a position to run the ball very much in this game.
That I think that's what that because 13.5 to me seems low, but then it's like, well, if
That's a lot to me.
Yeah, you can get game scripted out of being able to run the ball at all, right? I mean, Bengals score in the first 2 possessions, and it is, it's overtime. Well, no, there will not be overtime. Joe Burrow, how about this? Joe Burrow pass attempts. You guys talk about they threw a lot. 36.5 over on.
I'll take the over.
36, man, that is a lot.
Oh, I'll take the over.
He threw a bunch last week, and I think in the fourth quarter he barely threw, but in the first 3 quarters, you can correct me if I'm wrong, Ace, but he was just throwing. I was like, man, they keep throwing the ball. I was shocked, right?
The Bengals' philosophy too is like, what beats a good pass rush? Spreading them out and getting rid of the ball quick, right? Like that's kind of their counter to it. So I think they're going to throw the ball a ton.
You want my D-Gen play? I don't even know if this guy might even play. I don't even know. I should probably have talked to you before I bet this.
Hold on. Let me ask you, what are the odds for anytime touchdown for Trenton Irwin? What are the odds? I gotta know, bro.
Random ones.
You and I are on the same page. They don't even have it. You can't bet.
Damn it!
Now.
I was hoping it was like plus 1,000 or something.
But hey,
it probably would be.
Tony,
yeah.
42 times Joe Burrow threw last week.
How many times?
42.
42. Yeah.
I think that's an over for that 30, whatever it was.
Trent Irwin over 5.5 yards receiving.
Yeah. He gonna get a first down.
Because if he just catches one deep bomb,
right,
that's pretty much it.
Yeah. And then they love to spread him out, right? So you think he's going to be out there a decent amount.
Yep.
Yeah.
What about Zach Taylor's son?
Trent Taylor? Nah, he doesn't play that much. He'll only get like.
All I remember is they cooked up the Browns, man. They was cooking us up that second game.
So Trent Taylor, he's restricted only to a slot receiver. He's like 5'7". He's 5'7". Trenton Irwin is taller. They usually use him in the slot and on the outside where Chase usually plays.
But the stadium get loud too when Irwin catches a football.
Oh yeah.
They love that.
Eric here says, "Q yawning while Tony talks." Ha!
How dare you?
How dare I?
Yeah, you in particular. Yes, that's the one.
Yeah, you know what? Well, you know, all this disrespect takes a heavy load on a man's psyche, Tony. All this disrespect is not easy to handle. So you know what? Forgive me for yawning, for all of this disrespect that I have to take on my name, on my city. Y'all keep playing with me, okay? Y'all keep playing with me. It's okay. It's okay.
Fun off season.
I'm gonna get the strength. I'm gonna get the strength.
It's just facts.
I'm gonna sign with AFC East.
It's not disrespectful.
You know what I mean,
dude. I'm not. I don't know about y'all, Ace. The best thing that can happen schedule wise is Browns Steelers week 1. It has to happen like right away.
Don't they do that thing where it's like what is it, the second game that they keep towards the end of the season for the divisional games?
No, the last game of the year.
But by the way, Father Dismas does have a great point. Q's probably tired because he's been up looking for Deshaun all this time.
Steelers Browns week 1. I'm with you.
Holding hands, him and all of his buds out there. Just
where's
Deshaun?
Damn, Tony, you've been
out there somewhere.
See how unruly we get. See how unruly other people choose to be. I'm going to take this opportunity to do like the great Martin Luther King used to. And by the way, it's his birthday this Monday. And I'm going to turn the other cheek. I'm going to be peaceful about this aggression that I am facing right now. You know what I mean? But I'm not going to let it get to me. I'm not going to let it get to me.
All right.
You don't want to
have his jokes, but you know what? The Browns are working real hard right now. They're working real hard right now. You know what I mean?
You lose to the Browns, Tony. Q's coming full Undertaker mode.
He already did.
No. I would not be doing full anything until that sweep happens. So no. I'm not about to take one victory. I'm not about to be like, oh yeah, we beat them week 1. They're dead, baby. No. We're not making that mistake. Okay. You know, and honestly, I blame the Bengals because how did you lose to the Steelers opening week this year, giving them the one win they needed to be over 500? I blame blame you.
Thank you.
You could
Thank
not
you.
beat Mitchell Trubisky's sorry ass.
Actually,
You fraudulent, very good team. I can't believe y'all did this. Okay, the Browns losing to the Steelers. Everybody expected they was going to lose one, but the Bengals. Come on, man.
Don't blame me. Blame Kenny.
I
Double
blame
glove Kenny. The double glove demon.
No. This was Mitchell Trubisky. Y'all lost to Cleveland's very own Mitchell Trubisky, dog. I blame the Bengals. This is all your fault. I blame Ace and the Bengals because if Ace would have not put him in the grave like I had urged them to, not do.
That was that stinker guy. I don't know.
Nah,
it wasn't me. It was stinker.
Then you lost the game. Okay, I blame the Bengals. Okay.
Tony, another year with Miles as first team.
Here we go.
PFF.
Here we go.
First team NFLPA too.
Yeah.
Was he first team or second team?
He was first team NFLPA.
First team NFL.
He was second team All AP.
Him and Nick Bosa.
Gotcha.
Where was TJ Watt? Was he first team anything?
Gotcha. Was hurt.
He was hurt.
Hurt this year. All right,
Miles was hurt too this year.
I'm sure he tore. I remember the year he tore his back in week 1 and came back and fought through it. No, wrong. I remember he shut himself down at the second half of every season he ever played.
He pummeled the car, made it look like a transformer stepped over it.
That's right.
He built different like that, Tony. So he just walked out. Myles Garrett can tear his pec. It's like somebody sneezing on him, dog. He's not human. That's why. I'm sorry. Your favorite pass rusher is a mere mortal human being, but my favorite pass rusher is a cyborg. Okay, so he doesn't get hurt.
Walter Payton
he doesn't get hurt.
Hey, congratulations!
He doesn't get hurt.
Everyone in the area, and then fighting back for it and getting first team All Pro. Wow,
you know what? Yeah. How many guys got first team All Pro after they smacked the dude in the football field with a helmet? Only one man, Myles Garrett. Shout out to the greatest of all time. Okay, TJ Watt could have overcome a pec injury. Soft. That prognosis was 2 to 4 weeks. He missed like 8 weeks. Soft.
Wow.
Myles Garrett would never. Pec injury.
He would never.
He would just get a new pec, dog, because he's a cyborg. Okay, simple as that. Soft. TJ Watt. NFL first, second, third team. He NFL no team, nothing this year. Soft.
Oh, here we go. Yeah, Myles Garrett first team All Pro.
Myles Garrett first ballot Hall of Famer. TJ Watt is a third ballot Hall of Famer.
By the way, one of my hot take was one of these two players was not gonna get to 10 sacks. Did he get to 10 sacks?
No, he's 7.5.
Oh, sad.
Yeah, sad. Yeah,
sad. Not even half of what Myles got.
Yeah.
Sad.
I know.
And his team got like 6 of them in one game. That's sad. You played Deshaun Watson and you couldn't get up to 10 sacks.
Well, it was
your
Burrow,
sorry
Burrow
team,
Burrow
your sorry franchise, and sad.
Forget about Burrow week 1.
Yeah.
No, TJ had a really rough year. It was really tough for him. As a 9-8 football.
All I know is that TJ Watt
Where was Myles on Sunday? But I didn't see him. Was he?
He didn't
play?
He got a sack. What you talking about? He got like 2 sacks in that game.
That's my favorite thing about Myles Garrett. You don't have to worry about him. You play the Browns late in the year, you don't have to worry about because he shuts himself down. He goes, "Oh, guys, I'm out."
Myles Garrett had like 1.5 sacks in that game.
I'm
what are you talking
week
about?
15. Done about week 15. I'll see you.
He had 1.5 sacks. He had a sack in that game. What are you talking about?
Chase Brown here.
What are you talking about, Tony?
Now, listen, we're not living in a world of reality. We're living in
the last 2 weeks. He had 2.5 sacks.
Oh, listen, congratulations.
Yeah. Keep the trap shut about the goat.
Win it all, or
okay. All I'm saying is, who had more sacks this year?
Make sure you hit that like, by the way. You will think the Steelers and Browns are playing this week. This happened because of
the Steelers and Browns play every week because these sorry Steeler fans want to take at everything that we got, even though they were privileged and they have had everything handed to them as a franchise. You know what? You know what I mean? Oh,
fine
now
line between
they real loud. They real loud about the TJ Watt injury, about him hurting his pec. But when it was Baker Mayfield tearing his labrum, they said that was an excuse.
I called that injury. I broke that news on this show. I never got ESPN should have been like, report Tony Serino, AFC North Talk says Baker's clearly hurt.
Yeah. All I'm saying is that Baker Mayfield had more sacks than TJ Watt did.
Yeah, here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Hey, let's finish up with this one. When this recap, Bengals are a different animal at home. Unless you take out our long snapper, we went vanilla offense last week. That's over 36 throws. 36 throws is free money. Burrow is gonna go bombs away, and then let the defense.
No. You don't want Burrow to. You're betting over 36. You do not want him to go bombs away. You do not want them to score quick. You want them to score slowly. You want it to be like a
You want a
suffocating
10 play.
Charlie,
Yeah, exactly.
they scored quick on us, and he still was throwing the ball in that game. Remember, this game was like 17-0.
Oh, yeah. By the way, shout out Joe Burrow, who overcame an appendectomy to still have an MVP level season. Shout out to Joe Burrow. It seems like everybody else in this division is tough except for TJ Watt.
Oh, hold on. You know who else came back from an appendectomy and was in a first-team All-Pro? Was Minkah Fitzpatrick. So you're welcome.
Tough guy. TJ Watt should learn from him.
Safety,
TJ Watt
right?
should get some notes. TJ Watt should, instead of
that's
quitting
old
on his
call,
team
man.
for 8 weeks. You know what I mean?
Okay, with that being said,
TJ Watt and Lamar Jackson got a
Can't
lot
wait
in
till safety
common.
ratings this
Got a
year.
lot in
Can't
common.
wait.
Got a lot in common.
we'll be back here on Tuesday, reviewing the game. Or not Tuesday, sorry, Monday. And then we'll do a preview whoever plays the following week, Ravens. After that, guys, take it easy. Enjoy that weekend. See you next time. Peace out.